After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War. Now, in the year 1973, the world still lies in the heart of this frigid period. The West and East engage in proxy wars to assert dominance, while spies and agents engage in shadowy dealings. And, with the threat of nuclear war, the world always feels close to doomsday. It's as if the whole world is holding their breath, waiting for someone to make the first wrong move.
Okay, yes. How's the week been?
It's been a week, but I'm here now with my boys for Jojo time.
I haven't moved from the same spot since we left off on that cliffhanger last week. I've just been waiting in anticipation.
His ass is literally glued to the chair.
Yeah, it's starting to get bad.
Yeah.
No, he has a hole built in for that.
Oh, thank God.
It came pre-built, actually.
Jack, buddy, how are you doing?
I'm alright.
Alright.
Oh, yeah.
Shall you lay out the scene from what was going on last time? I don't think the music bot's working, by the way.
Well, it's not playing anything. That's why.
Okay, I'm stupid. Alright, go ahead and put us back into the magic, Tan.
So, if I recall, at the end of last time, you had reduced, I believe, Popov to, I believe it was, reading from the notes and what I recall, 2 health left.
2 hits left, yeah.
Blew up his heart.
Yeah, it's sort of dripping down the hole at the moment, his heart. And he's gone fucking ape shit.
I'm just imagining that, like, bit from
that's me.
SpongeBob with, like, the chum thing, like, dripping down the wall when they're in the submarine.
I think I vaguely remember what you're talking about.
But meanwhile, downstairs,
The
Point
long
Break's effects were beginning to spread and endanger the integrity of the Winter's box. Chelsea was just launching an air pressure attack to try and bypass it, which was actually intercepted by the mysterious man with filed teeth and his marbles.
My best friend Jaws from James Bond.
I actually don't remember his name. I don't know if I met
Micah
him.
Jag, he gave his name as.
Micah Jag. But I don't know that yet.
And we resume as he is descending the steps. He's on the opposite side of Point Break to you, Chelsea. So you've sort of got this field of destruction between the two of you. Apologies, but I can't allow you to interfere just yet, he says.
Who are you?
Well, if I wasn't going to allow you to interfere, I'd hardly give away my identity, don't you think?
So you're with the KGB then?
You're free to believe what you believe. I'm not exactly going to give you hints.
Alright, well...
I'm afraid we need this destruction to carry on for just a little bit longer. You're free to take a seat if you'd like and wait. About 5 more minutes should do it.
What do you have in mind? I won't endanger my partners.
Well, my intention is to endanger your partners, so we're sort of in an impasse there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, so you have 2 options. Leave or die. And I cock my gun.
Well, I always intended to leave. The part that should concern you, he sort of lifts up his marble, sort of spinning on the end of his finger. Strange sort of light pattern to it, blue and green, sort of radiating inside it as it spins. What should concern you is what I do before I leave. And he makes some strange jerking motion with his hand, and the light of it is suddenly very intense and disorienting. I'm going to need you to make a focus roll here, and DC of 3.
Focus roll DC of 3. Jeez. So focus is reason and pluck, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Thankfully, I'm half decent at those. Unfortunately, I have no more luck to spend to give myself advantage. Let me go ahead and... So real quick, also a question. As a good trouble operative, have I ever seen something like what he's doing before, or is this totally new to me?
It's not something you're familiar with.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and roll. And that is 3 hits! So something bizarre happens.
Right, okay.
Unless it was an opposed roll, in which case I just don't take a hit or whatever.
No, it wasn't a opposed roll, so something bizarre. Okay, I didn't plan for this.
Yeah, so not a failure or a success, just something strange happens.
So, as he's bringing out the marble, and as you're sort of resisting this strange light, there's a massive cracking sound as the ceiling above begins to crack and sort of buckle under weight, it seems. It seems as though the field of Point Break has reached the ceiling. Micah hurriedly stuffs the marble back into his pocket. Oh, it seems there's no need after all. Well, toodles! And he turns on his heel and begins running away cartoonishly, with his arms pumping.
Hey, get back here! And I try to follow, but I realize I'm almost in the range, and I step back. Oh, damn it! And I assume I'm resuming my attacks against Point Break, as you put it.
Yeah, bear in mind that the house is beginning to buckle under the weight as the ceiling is unjointed, for lack of a better word.
I have a feeling that Chelsea, at least, believes that she might be able to prevent everything from collapsing, but she has to defeat Point Break first for it to work. So I think she's going to try again with the body she has and try another slingshot air pressure attack on this guy.
Okay. For this, then, it was going to be a against Subject 101. So just walk me again through how the air pressure attack works.
So basically, I've sort of stretched these corpses, and they're grasping each other in a line and like interweaving their bodies. So they're sort of like, as much as I could stretch them, like a long horizontal. What's the word I'm looking for? Not tape, but like kind of like a ribbon of flesh. And I'm trying to whirl it in the air to build up air, and then whip it out like I'm flinging the air at him.
Okay, that's a snipe probe, looking precision there against. So against sort of a passive sort of self-protection thing here, which is power and durability.
All right, let me go ahead and give that a shot. And should I treat this like proper combat with a back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll go next. So I got 4 hits. Yes.
Okay, so so the air pressure, it seems that it's somewhat affected by the field, but it still makes it through mostly intact and strikes the man in the chest. And he's still strapped in chair, so chair falls backwards, leaving him on his side. There's a loud sort of wordless moan from him, but he doesn't seem to like consciously understand what is going on. And with that moan, he sort of takes his own moan, and the field suddenly sort of just expand rapidly, sort of disintegrating the floorboards and everything around him as it spreads towards you. Like, at such speed that you would have to, like, get out the way here or suffer damage.
Shit. I try to kick back on my feet and do sort of like a dodge back step further away from the area.
Okay, so roll dodge, body, and wit.
Body and... Oh, no!
Overkill, which is menacing and power.
Alright, I'll do my darndest. Alright, so that's gonna be 3 live dice for me.
Okay, menacing power is going to be a 7d6.
Thank God I'm rolling semi-decently. Never mind.
Oh, Christ.
Alright, so I take a hit from that, I imagine.
Yeah, so you get pulled around. Basically, as you're leaping backwards, the tip of the field reaches your foot, and the front of your toes is consumed and disintegrated.
Ah! And I imagine, stumble back on my ass, like just now out of range with my toes bleeding profusely.
It's slowing again after that, so you manage to avoid like having your whole leg taken.
Damn it! And I'm like looking up at the ceiling as it's starting to like buckle under the weight of the force.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? And I am going to try something a little weird here.
Okay, we like this.
Not in my Jojo's Bizarre Adventure.
I think you mean something a little bizarre.
So I see, right, that he's breaking things apart, even at an atomic level. This isn't just some joint thing. So I'm going to try and use my power in a way that I'm hoping will help me sort of fake him out. So I take out my gun and quickly load in a couple more of those strange white bullets, and I fire one at him, but as it's on his way to him, I try to anticipate the break, and before it happens, I try to use my power, because the reveal is these bullets are made from bone. And they're not exactly like standard bullets, and I try to split my bullet into 2 smaller bullets to strike at him before it would break, and see if that throws him off.
Okay, I would say that is a bamboozle against his speed and durability here.
Sure. Any advantages?
I'll give you an advantage for your ruse.
All right, wit and menacing. What do I have in those? So 8d6, and 4 will be a live dice.
This is his protect here.
All right, so he got 3 live dice. I got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you have your little Sex Pistols moment. You fire the gun. The bullet begins to crack as it approaches him, but right before it would have disintegrated, it splits into 2. One of which is slow, one which is faster. And the second one, are you trying to make a fatal blow here, or a knock him out, or?
I think Chelsea probably feels for this guy, but also she's not going to take any risks in compromising the mission. She's going to do whatever will incapacitate him, whatever's most convenient, whether it's easier to kill him at this moment or just knock him out.
Okay.
So if a vital, like a fatal blow is easier, that's what she's doing. But if it's easier to just get something that would knock him out, that's what she's doing.
It's difficult to say what a short hit to knock someone out with a bullet would be, is the thing.
Let's just call it fatal then.
Okay, so it splits into, and right as it's about to disintegrate, the second bullet slams into his forehead, blowing he brains out, and the disintegration stops.
And as soon as that happens, as fast as she can use her power on his body now, right?
Yeah.
She takes whatever bodies and bones haven't been completely destroyed and tries to meld and erect the bone into, basically pillars to try and hold up the cracking ceiling. It's not going to work in the long run, but it just needs to hold long enough for her to get her teammates out, and then she's going to run up the stairs and try to join everybody.
Right, okay, I will allow that. You make your little pillars, it prevents the immediate collapse here. And as you're sort of heading towards the staircase to get upstairs, and go upstairs. Chelsea, as you reach the top of the stairs, you are almost face to ass with the fleshless werewolf monster that is Colonel Polpov. And on the other side of him, you can see your comrades.
And I imagine
he's doing ape shit.
This is the initiative. Last time I just put myself at the bottom.
I would probably say so, yeah.
Okay, cool. Here we go. Okay, what did I miss, boys?
Quite a bit.
You can make some ape noises.
Yes, you also see that Vasilii is monkey.
I imagine I look at this giant heaving fleshed werewolf and I'm like, oh god damn it. Please don't tell me that's Polpov.
That's Polpov.
Yeah, that's Polpov.
Fucking hell. Alright, anyone got a plan?
Hit it really hard.
Great, got it.
So in terms of the position right now, I refer to him as a werewolf, but it's probably difficult to tell that. So in terms of his body configuration right now, after you tore his heart out, which is sort of just smeared onto the wall, he's doing a crab walk, except his limbs are snapped around into the opposite direction. So his torso is his back right now.
Oh god. Oh,
his chest is his back even, sorry.
Oh god. Alright. Is it driver's turn from the top? Where are we at in the order?
I would say let's just make it driver's turn.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Alright, I guess I'm gonna have to start this off with just I make my Mega Man blaster and I fire a bunch of blasts of light at Polpov.
Okay, I would say that is maybe a strike then, which is power and precision here you'll be going for. And he's just sort of charging wildly at you as you do this there, so it's just sort of a protect from himself.
Let me find my sheet.
So this is his protect roll. I'll just do that while you're grabbing your stuff.
Alright.
Christ. Zawa indeed.
Oh.
Damn, this guy's tough!
So, well, I think, Polpov takes that, I'm afraid. So he charges right as you're firing at him. He just, the blows just sort of glance off him. and he fucking slams into you, driver. Keeps going and slams the two of you through this wooden wall into the drawing room beyond, where you sort of land on a pool table.
Hold on, he counterattacked. That means he takes it.
Oh yeah, he takes a hit. Absolutely, yes. Sorry, that's my mistake.
All right, so you both take a hit here. All right, so in that case, let me check.
But you are still sent flying onto a pool table.
All right, so that puts Driver at 1 hit and Polpov also at 1 hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and then it's Polpov's turn, right?
Yes, absolutely. So Polpov is now in this drawing room with you, Driver. It seems for the moment his attention is focused on you as the others are back in the hallway. As he squirms, his rib cage on his back sort of clicks like a xylophone, and a few tendrils, almost tentacles of muscle, lash out, almost like fucking Bulbasaur, and zoom towards you to vine whip you, essentially. Which would be strike from him.
I want to, as he tries to vine whip me, I want to have Proto Man unleash like a like flash of light, kind of like a flashbang, and then try and disappear into my after images again.
Okay, I would say that's a bamboozle there, which is wit and menacing. If that is alright with you.
Yep.
So he's going to be doing a strike, which is power and precision here, so he's rolling a 66.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And it's 1, 2, 3. So I don't believe that's a hit in that case, am I right?
Yeah.
So because they're equal, you don't quite manage to dissipate, but the initial flashbang is enough to sort of throw off his aim so it slams into the pool table beneath you rather than actually hitting you. So a cloud of debris flies up as he does that. Slugger, you have just seen your good friend Driver be fucking Reinhardt charged into another room through the wall. How do you open?
Well, I've proposed a split action. If that is what we're going with, Darnell.
Yep. If you can give me your dual heat, you can give me half of your action, and then I can do that setup.
Okay, I'll give you the half. Who's going first?
So I think Chelsea and Bats probably, Chelsea or Vulture and Slugger lock eyes, and there's just like that nod, and then she's gonna run downstairs, back to the floor below, and with one of the pillars of bone, she's gonna try and turn it into a spear and thrust it. She's gonna try and turn it to the spear, and she's laying there in wait.
Yep. So there's just a big bone spear laying down on the floor below Polpov, as sharp as possible. And Bats is going to turn on his ball sense, and he's going to sense the red ball that he's turned the backpack lady inside Chelsea's pocket, remembering that he put it there, and he is going to know exactly where she is positioned, where this spear is positioned beneath the floor. Nice. And now he's going to turn to Polpov. Hey, you big ugly bastard! Come over here! And he's going to separate himself into a bunch of little balls, just as many balls as possible, and start bouncing around the room. But he's going to specifically keep a few balls unbouncing, almost to lure him to the spot where he wants him to be. Kind of thinking that,
Okay. And then I presume the goal is to, collapse the floor and he goes onto the spike.
Once he comes over to this way, I'm going to launch all of the balls at that spot specifically to try and collapse the already broken floor. The already, shaky, Because you said the structure of it was a little weak.
Yeah, it's on the verge of collapse. It would take very little.
Yeah, so that's my plan.
Okay, I would say this might be finesse then. So one of your speed and one of your precision, if that's okay with you guys.
That is okay with me. Just keep in mind my speed and precision are both only C dunes, so you should probably pick whichever one of those is better for you, and then I'll just roll my 3d6.
Oh yeah, my speed is a B and my precision is an A. So.
All right, so you go ahead and roll your precision. I'll roll my speed.
Okay.
And I'm giving you an advantage on this as well because that's fucking sick.
Hell yeah! All right, so I got 2 live dice on mine. And you got a live dice, so we have 3 total.
Okay, that's a hit.
I'm trying, how would he? Well, he needs to sort of figure out. He hasn't done his thing.
Perhaps he would anticipate.
Yeah, anticipate here. Reason and speed there, then.
I can't imagine he has too much reason right now.
Not as things are at the moment, then. No, his reason has dropped to an E at the moment.
Oh yeah. But knowing Polpov, he will roll amazingly well.
He grabs the dice and just changes it to what he wants.
Yes!
Okay.
You did it. So, he's sort of...
Are you sure Polpov doesn't get advantage there?
I didn't think he would have disadvantage, but he grabs me on the throat and is like, are you sure that's what it rolled?
New World Order. I mean, he could spend luck to give himself post advantage.
Almost like a cat with a laser pointer. He's following around these balls, and like a mouse into a trap, he leaps onto the pile of them that have coalesced at the point you want. And his leap is such that it destroys the floor. Finally, the floor finally gives up the ghost, and he plummets and is impaled firmly onto this bone spear.
Now, in true Jojo fashion, we should light this place the fuck up and get out of here.
Oh, absolutely.
Alright. I yell upstairs and go, alright, I've got him pinned, boys! Let's get out of here!
Oh, make sure he's fucking dead, because I swear to God, if there's some asshole where he lives, I'm gonna kill myself.
Once he's impaled on the spear, if Tan allows me, I have the bone that he's impaled on grow within him, so it locks his joints in place, like his arms and legs, to try and keep him pinned there, at least for as long as possible. It's probably not strong enough.
Can we all get in a group attack on this? We
Absolutely.
all leap in to finish him off.
Let's do it.
Or stand rush.
Can I describe the way I'd like to do it? Hopefully with Slugger's help.
Of course, for the group attack.
So of course, Slugger can turn certain things, well, anything perhaps, into balls. And you know what great sport involves balls? That fine American pastime, which involves, a slam dunk performed by an ape onto someone's head.
So are we dunking?
Slam dunking the court? Well, the body?
Regent would like to borrow a ball that hopefully was actually something heavy and slam dunked onto this guy's head. Yes.
Okay. I mean, the balls are kind of tiny, but I could.
I think he's saying if you could turn something that was big into a ball, then he dunks the ball, and then it turns back into the big thing.
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay. Maybe there's I don't know.
There's a stove.
Stove.
There's a comically large anvil nearby.
This is comically large.
Of course. I point the Clash, my overlay cannon, at the chandelier from above, and attempt to turn it into a cluster of tiny little balls, which can be picked up by Monkey. And
absolutely.
I duplicate Proto Men, and I leap in and hack and slash him into pieces.
You're all destroying this organism, and it's brutal. As you are doing this, though, as you finally reduce it to mincemeat and it flakes away into the wind, you do hear from the hallway a very low groan.
Oh God!
Would you like to investigate, or how would we proceed?
What's the status on this building fucking collapsing?
Well, that part of the floor is sort of collapsing in on itself, but there's no indication of the entire house like falling apart.
Okay.
It's going to happen eventually, but not like immediately.
I think I look to my comrades. Now I assume we're all in the same space after we've landed our finishing blow here. And I go, I don't know about all of you, but I'm pretty close to my limits here. At the same time, though, if there's something important, we should investigate. And I look to Driver for guidance.
I groan and I'm like, all right, let's go.
All right then.
I go over to investigate Tanhoney.
I'll follow behind, gun at the ready.
So,
Are you guys fucking crazy? I mean, we killed the guy. We got to get out of here. That was the mission.
But what if they're getting away with the super weapon?
Damn it.
I don't disagree, Bats, but we have to make sure we haven't fucked anything up here.
I get you. Fine. I guess our lives are already on the line, right?
Yep.
Regent, take my 6.
Regent, I think his face has reverted to human so he can speak again, but he's still walking on all fours on his ape knuckles. He goes, I concur. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We must investigate. And he takes it.
So as you all ascend the stairs, you do see where you had your initial fight with Polpov, where the heart was splattered against the wall. The shape of the heart has changed in sort of a grotesque caricature parody of the Colonel's face that's sort of wheezing for breath as it oozes down the wall. To think I could have been killed by scum like you.
Oh my god, he's still hanging in there?
He's like on the verge of death anyway. It's somehow his heart coughs up blood, which is a question for the ages.
I think it's time for Polpov to enter an early retirement.
They sent you, didn't they? The better angels.
The better what?
The better angels. Didn't they send you to kill me?
I mean, we were sent to kill you, but by someone else.
Who are these angels?
They're the ones who told me about what was going to happen, who led me to my conclusions, but I knew they could not be trusted. One of them was here today. I thought you were with him.
Why are you telling us this?
The better angels are the enemies of all mankind.
I think
if my nation is not to be, then yours must deal with them.
Fair enough.
I think Vulture puts 2 and 2 together and she goes, hold on, guy with the widow's peak and the whittled down teeth?
Yes.
Aw, man, I liked him.
What? He tried to kill me! Well, he tried to kill all of us, actually.
I mean, I think I probably talked to him before he did that.
I tried to talk to him, and he said, I'm going to collapse this building and kill all of you, and then he left.
That's unfortunate.
Okay, well, what do these better angels want? How are we supposed to find them?
What they want, I couldn't say, but they are the ones who told me of the future. The power is above all of us. We were them.
Don't you die on me. Tell me the future.
Even as you specifically ask him not to die on you, he's melting until he becomes slop on the floor and is as retired gets.
He mentioned
Bats is going to take a like a nail file and scrape some of the slop up and put it in a small vial. What? I figured it'd be proof.
Gross. Driver, that power he was talking about, I saw that guy do something strange with this marble. He was spinning it. I could feel it doing something to my mind, but thankfully Breakpoint seemed to interrupt whatever he was trying, and he ran away. Is that what he's talking about?
Maybe. I know of some technique that involves the power of spin to do things, but I don't think that might not be exactly what he's doing here.
Well, regardless, I think we
Power
better...
of spin?
Don't worry about it.
What the hell is spin? Look, we'll bring it up to Neil, but we gotta get out of here now. Who is the flare gun? Driver, right?
As you are saying we need to get out of here now, you do hear heavy boots as KGB soldiers, presumably reinforcements, finally reach the house. There's cars and trucks pulling outside. There's people running in, shouting orders.
Hit the flare.
By the way, you all, I'm gonna be a fucking merciful god, and you all have one hit back.
Okay, So I think that puts all of us at 2 and Slugger at 3. So let me write that somewhere real quick.
Bats, can you turn I can take one of them on the back of my bike. Can you turn one of them into balls, and take yourself and them up to the rooftop, and we'll meet you there?
You got it. I'm going to try to turn Vulture into balls, just because it would be funnier to saddle you with Regent.
Wait, what? And then I'm balls.
Okay,
yeah,
so
fair enough. Just climb up the side of the building because of the simian limbs.
If I may make a fun suggestion, if you're trying to obstruct the KGB as they enter Regent, it'd be cool if you, like, devolve the renovated parts of the building to, like, create obstacles, like, back from the old house so that they can't get through.
I'm actually gonna leave a recording of all of us behind for the KGB to distract them.
Nice. Alright. So, can I do anything in ball form, or am I incapacitated now?
You like Samus?
I'm going... I mean, you're pretty much incapacitated, but I'm just, like... my plan was I was going to throw you at, like, the nearest window, and then, we could use the flare gun once we're outside.
So here's one more question, because I assume my clothes and my weapon are all encapsulated in the ball that I now am. Is the ball I was holding also within my ball now, or are we 2 balls?
The balls nest within one another.
Okay. So I am 1 ball, all-encompassing.
Actually, no, it would be 2 balls. I picked them both up.
Okay, cool.
I approve of this message.
I shift Proto-Men into bike form, and I drive, and I, like, smash out the window, and as I'm falling, I pull out the flare gun, and I fire it straight up into the air.
Okay, so as you're leaping out, there's a crash of glass. It's fucking badass. You pull out the flare gun, you pull the trigger, and there's a hollow click. Nothing happens.
They didn't give us fucking ammo, did they?
There is ammo, but something seems to be wrong with the actual gun. It's not firing.
Guys, this might be my fault.
I knew that motherfucker wasn't the actual Sergeant O.
No, I think this is my fault. I just got a DM. Sorry. My misfortune seems to have propped.
And as you land in the snow below, so which way out of the house were you, like, leaping, just to remind me?
I don't really think it matters which way.
Okay, soldiers see you and begin shouting.
Yeah.
Pointing guns in your direction. You do see that some soldiers coming nearby are not quite using these cars or trucks. They seem to be coming from a different direction from the rest, presumably in, like, a different local base. They're using, funnily enough, snowmobiles as they approach. It's a bit comical. But basically, there are 3 sort of directions, routes of escape immediately open to you guys. Back into the house, down the mountain, which is presumably not going to be too pleasant, or across the road past this blockade to the nearest village.
I think we should at least split up into 2 different paths with our 2 squads here to try and divert the forces.
Yeah, upon realizing the failure, I'm going to turn Vulture back to normal and just give, like, a sigh of disbelief.
Did you seriously turn me into a ball without asking first?
Sorry, look, I thought that we had enough goodwill between one another. Staring at each other, looking at the plans. We had some chemistry.
I punch him on the shoulder and I go, whatever, okay, fine. You guys should head down the mountain since you have a vehicle.
I'm going...
Are we anywhere near the water?
I think at this point I'm split up from them, and I see all of this happening. And my immediate reaction is to start driving and intentionally run over a few people to try and get their attention and lead them away from the others.
So he's going into the blockade?
Yep.
What was the other option aside from the mountain in the blockade?
Okay.
Yeah, is there any water nearby? Since didn't we come here by boat? Yeah, we did.
Let's head into the whiteboard. I'll show you your options.
Slide 2.
Oh, sure. I guess. So this is just make sure I understand. So the split up right now is Protomen and Driver is their own thing, and the rest of you are in another group, or is
I thought
Vasilii
Driver's
also
with
Driver?
Regent, and I'm
No,
with Slugger.
Regent climbed up on his own.
Oh, okay. So I guess it's Driver, Regent, and then me and Slugger.
Okay, so there's 3 groups.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's house behind you guys.
Because I know we came by boat, but we also had to like walk or drive up like a mile.
So the ocean is not immediately in range, and it'll be behind the house, the ocean. So
Mm-hmm.
ocean is this way. If you want to go that way.
Ooh.
There's the trucks and shit. This is what a truck looks like.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the nearest village with a sort of blockade of soldiers, and then there's some snowmobiles with soldiers approaching. If you wanted to hijack those and go down the mountain, but you're not quite sure where that would lead.
And the mountain is in that way as well.
Well, you're on a mountain, but that's down the mountain.
Okay. So I'm thinking.
Don't ask me how there's also a mountain and also a shoreline.
If Driver's running people over, then I assume he's headed towards the blockade. I think.
Also, before I take off, I toss up the flare gun to you guys.
When you say you guys, do you mean me and Slugger or Regent?
You and Slugger. Regent's on the roof with you guys.
Okay, I'll grab the flare gun. And what would, if Regent were to use his power, what would snowmobiles devolve into?
They're just made out of metal and stuff.
I would say maybe a carriage, but that'd be worse because there's no horses.
What would he devolve a mountain into? Could he make it more easy to pass?
I feel like mountains are about as primal as you get.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it would become rather than, like, as you just suggested, a more peaceful mountain, I think it would be the opposite and be more difficult to get down.
Well, what I'm thinking is he would start going down, then devolve part of it so it creates like a barrier blocking the way behind him. Would be my guess. But I'm thinking, since there are... Well, how many guys on snowmobiles are there?
Well, there's 3 guys on snowmobiles approaching here.
Okay, so if Driver's headed for the blockade, perhaps we should go for the snowmobiles? Because my thinking is even if the mountain's more treacherous, we might be able to loop back around, and with the speed the snowmobiles get us, we can go take a long way around to the water and get there, and it'll be harder for them to catch us.
Yeah, I'm thinking we hijack snowmobiles and just head for the entrance or the exit.
Cool.
We get back to the beach.
Yeah, I'm down for the snowmobile plan.
So Slugger, Vulture, and Regent over here, Driver over there.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do it.
So Driver is going through the road here, and your guys are going to the ocean?
Yeah, I'm trying to get their attention to take the heat off their back.
We're going to the snowmobiles first, but then rather than the mountain, we're going to try and go around the house to the ocean.
Right. Okay, so as you approach the 3 guys on the snowmobiles, they sort of shout as they skid to a halt and raise their rifles up. So we're going to have a brief, let's be honest, a brief combat here.
Sure.
Yeah, I think this is just speed and precision for me outmaneuvering them, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the 3 that are on the snowmobile, so this is the 3 that
okay.
Group B is approaching. And then we'll go through to you guys, because, well, Drive, I'm going to be honest, you're like driving past so many people that it would be impractical to have it as combat.
Yeah, that almost might be like
Okay,
more of a
fair
chase
enough.
scene.
Yeah.
So how does that look for initiative? I can switch it up if anyone wants. I put myself
Well,
at the
3
bottom to avoid bias and conflict.
Okay. So that's absolutely fine. So, well, yeah, Regent, how would you like to approach us? 3 guys here on snowmobiles, 3 normal KGB officers with rifles.
Oh, they have rifles.
Yes.
I think that, first off, maybe he devolves his arms. Oh, well, he devolves his arms mostly. Mainly
What does
he makes
that
his,
mean?
yeah, it'll make sense in a second. Let me
Okay, let him
explain.
cook. Let him cook.
Pretend it's the Iraqi narrator speaking about how, despite their great strength, apes have less dexterous hands than humans. So he's gonna keep his arm muscles ape, but devolve his hands back into his hands.
Okay,
and
so
try to
undevolve the hands, but keep the ape strength.
Yes, and he's gonna try to toss snowmobiles at them to like blind them. I mean snowballs.
I was going to say snowmobiles. To blind them? I think it's going to do more than that. So you're just tossing snow like at their eyes.
Yes. If it happens to hurt, that's a bonus.
Okay, so as we've established, if you want, is this against one guy in particular, or are you going to try and do the thing we did before, trick shots to like indicate?
It was more like trying to do it rapid fire. So
Okay.
I guess I might compromise the accuracy of it.
Maybe trade off instead of dealing a hit to like debilitate them in some way, like disadvantage.
Okay. So yes, okay. So I'm gonna let you hit two guys, but it's not gonna be a hit. It's gonna be sort of disadvantage on whatever they do next.
All right.
So I would say that is a strike, which power and precision here.
Power. Precision.
And they're just going to try and dodge, which is body and wit for each of them. So 4d6 is for the first guy. I think that's a hit on him. 4d6 second guy. That's another hit. And another hit. So you get all three of them. So all three of them, as they're pulling out the rifles and shouting orders to surrender, you like fucking SpongeBob snow fights, launch snowballs at their faces. It's embarrassing, to be honest, on their part, as they sort of have to just claw at their mouths and faces, which are covered in snow, opening them up to attacks. An attack from, well, actually, Snowmobile 1 is basically just going to use his turn to try and get this snow off his face here. So, which is going to be just a, I would say, body and reason here. So again, just a 4d6. And I'll give it a DC of, let's say, 2. Well, actually, he doesn't even rock and roll. He's getting snow off his face.
Yeah, I imagine it just takes his action, yeah.
Yeah, he wastes a turn. It's Slugger's turn.
Okay. I'm just going to look to one of the snowmobile guards that are not afflicted by the attack that Regent just did, and I'm going to attempt to turn him into balls.
Okay, roll. Just any means in particular shooting at him?
No, I'm shooting at him towards the torso with like a wider spread, right. just the one bullet and
yeah, and say strike then, power and precision on that, okay. And he's just going to try and his dodge. When he has disadvantages, we've established on this. So yeah, you fucking.
No, he doesn't fucking.
No.
Nothing. Okay. As he claws at his face, he squirms in such a way that his torso moves out of the way of your attack, and it flies off and turns a tree in the distance into balls.
Maybe I need glasses.
And it will pass to the second snowmobile's turn, who again, this guy wastes his turn trying to get off his face, which makes it Vulture's turn.
So Vulture, like Slugger passed me half his action, I'll pass half mine to him. So what I do is, if you recall, earlier when we were fighting Backpack Girl, I killed the other normal guard, and I stuffed his bones and flesh kind of underneath my suit. So that all whirs out of me, and I form sort of like a bone snowboard, and I start. I quickly kick off, and I grab Bats and yank him onto the snowboard with me, and get close to the one guy who still has snow in his eyes, so that Bats can execute an attack close range.
Absolutely.
Which I will leave to however you do that attack to you, Bats.
So I would say, yeah, how are you going to execute such a close range attack? Are you going to punch him, kick him?
Use your bat?
Oh no, I'm going to overlay my my cannon and just fire balls at his face.
Okay, so I'd say it's speed from Chelsea and power from bats.
Alright, so that'll be 3d6
just standard
for
dodge.
me. And we are also now on a bone snowboard.
I will give you an advantage on this, by the way, because you brought back that thing you did earlier. I like that.
Thank you. Okay, so I didn't get shit, so...
You got 1, because it's an advantage.
Well, even with advantage, doesn't it need to be a 4 to be live?
Oh, yeah, so...
I got a 4.
Who the fuck are these guards?
So he got 2 he got 2 live for us, so we might still get him.
Son of the wolf.
Oh, he's in disadvantage, I forgot. Actually, it does hit.
Nice.
So yeah, you slam him in his face. Does he become balls from this, or are you firing balls at him?
No, I'm firing balls at him to knock him off his snowboard.
You hear a crack as he falls unconscious in one hit and falls backwards off the snowboard. Not snowboard, snowmobile.
And I call behind us as we start sledding down. I go, Regent, grab that snowmobile!
And he lumbers forwards, and hopefully it works.
Okay, well, if you'd like, you can sort of disengage from the combat at this point because you all have transport.
Yeah, let's
and you
do
can
it.
just try and make your escape now.
Let's just do it. Yeah, let's escape. Fuck these guys. Who cares? They're jobbers.
Agree.
Oh.
Where's driver? Still dealing with the...
We're going to zoom to the driver. As you're charging at this blockade of soldiers, you hear behind you that your friends have sort of got their transport on the way out. How do you want to proceed? Are you still going to be taking your current route? Are you going to do anything else? Or
Yeah, I'm still going to try and draw attention away from them, especially if they've managed to actually get transport, because if the flare gun isn't working, they're going to have to figure something else out. In the meanwhile, I can at least take the heat off their backs.
Okay, so you're striking out alone for the time being. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, you're sure. I've got that from you.
If we have the flare gun, I do have an idea later for how we might be able to get it working again.
Okay, so you're basically trying to get their attention here. So I would say there's a menacing somewhere in there.
Menacing speed, maybe? Because
Yeah,
I'm
confound,
taunting them. Okay.
Let's say 2 DC for this.
Alright, there we go.
There you go. So yeah, the full attention of the KGB reinforcements is on you, for better or worse. As you zoom past the blockade, the snowmobiles, even the ones that were previously engaging your friends, swerve around to pursue you instead, along with a second wave of them that sort of... Like, they're far away enough that they're not an immediate threat to you, but they are chasing you intently as you sort of go down through the road, the snowy road. So it is still sort of... It's still frozen over and everything, so if your program was not like a stand, if there's an actual motorbike, you would not be having a fun time.
Yeah. I imagine this is the point where, like, I pull some, like, fucking silver chariot shit and my wheel changes, the wheels of my bike change into, like, snow tires.
Yeah. And then one of the guys, like, changes up, he goes, I know those kinds of wheels. I saw them at the Olympics. And Iraqi sort of tells about them a little bit.
Designed to tread through rough terrain.
But as you are going down the mountain, well, both routes sort of go down the mountain. This is just a less intense way through the roads and stuff. You do hear, like, from the underside of Protomen, like, underneath the wheel, a strange little laugh, like...
What?
Did you not hear that? It was, like, too high-pitched.
Yeah, it didn't come through quite.
You hear it go...
What?
Oh my god, I can't do it. The voice doesn't register in my mic.
Was it just a little heh?
He goes, hey man, how's it going?
Oh god. Am I...
Cheap trick.
It's very Cheap Trick-esque.
I think I'm going too fast to avoid, or to be able to spare a glance down there.
So, you may not see this, but maybe out the corner of your eye, you do see, like, something white and furry, like, come out from underneath your wheel, like, clinging to the mechanics of Proto-Men. It's a sort of a white chimpanzee-esque creature. With a long prehensile tail and snow-white fur. It would almost look like a normal animal, like something that Vasilii could maybe turn into. if not for the fact that it has no mouth where it should, and instead has two in place of its eyes that are just sort of laughing at you.
Can we not do this right now?
Don't think you can get away, man! It's me, Arctic Monkeys!
I want to, like, thrust out a fist and punch it in the face.
You'll never get away from the KGB, man!
I love Arctic Monkeys.
So, you said you were going to try and punch it?
Yeah.
Okay, with your fist or your... the stand is mic right now?
Yeah, I'll make, like, a recording of a fist to, like, punch it in the face.
I'd say to strike then, power and precision. And that's going to be a... this is the turn order. A very simple turn order. It's the driver and then Arctic Monkeys.
Drew him there clinging to the wheel for reference.
That's 2.
Okay.
I am not rolling well today.
He's going to try and just dodge. He's sort of like clambering around Protoman as he tries to dodge here, but like very much like a monkey would. So let me just roll for him. So that's body and wit, which is 7d6.
Yeah, he takes it.
Yeah, so he's clambering around, but he managed to catch him with the vision. He goes flying off the fucking bike.
Can I, like, catch him when he's trying to do the, you'll never get away from the KGB, and then the fist just, like, decks him in the face?
Yeah, absolutely. The Rohan I win sort of thing. And he flies off the Protoman, lands, I would say lands on the snow. So he touches the snow and immediately dissolves into water that flows down into the snow.
Oh no, it's like fucking Indoor Stand. Whatever that was.
Or maybe even like Black Sabbath, but with snow instead of shadows.
Yeah. Oh, good.
As you are thinking this, that prehensile tail lashes out from inside the snow, like impossibly fast. Like there's no way he could have like tunneled to the other position in front of you from where you hit him, and sort of tries to wrap around the front wheel of Protoman to sort of send you flying. So he's going for a, let's see, I'd say that's precision and speed. So finesse, he's going to try and do precision and speed you. 7d6. How would you resist such a maneuver?
Well, you said he's trying to send him from the bike, right?
He's trying to wrap his his tail around the front wheel, so the bike sort of flips.
Perhaps expel body precision.
What I was thinking of doing is, I think I'm going to, when I see it moving, I have Protomen like leap into the air to try and avoid it.
Okay,
Maneuver?
so might just be a dodgy. Well, Protomen's sort of not dodging, so it should be something with the actual stance, I would say.
Maneuver? Body speed?
Yeah, maneuver, I'd say. Body and speed.
Da, 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 da.
Oh, goodness me.
Holy shit! Arctic Monkeys went crazy.
You both went a little bit crazy there.
Alright, so Jack got 5 live dice, and Arctic Monkeys got 4.
Yeah, so you almost get fucking America's Funniest Home Videos as the tail comes out and tries to lash around your front wheel. But you're a practice stand user, and you're a practiced fucking bike rider. You managed to do a fucking sick flip as you leap up, leaving Arctic Monkeys sort of gaping upwards.
And then while I do a flip while in the air, and then while I'm upside down, I project a recording of that gun from earlier that Polpov had. I take aim right at Arctic Monkeys and I try and shoot it through the head.
Okay, so I'd say that's a snipe here. So it's sort of swimming through the snow after you as you're doing
I think this might be speed and precision because that's
okay.
Yeah, I'm doing it really fast and precisely.
Okay. Speed and precision, I'll allow it. And it's going to try and race it, so it's going to try and pluck and speed you.
I don't get an advantage for that being cool, do I?
I'll give you one.
So
Okay.
3 versus 1.
So as it's sort of swinging through the snow, laughing up at you, you manage to get in the head. Not quite enough to kill, but enough for it to sort of clutch its head, going, "Ah, you asshole! You fucking dick lips! I'm gonna fucking kill you!" And then it dissolves into the snow, presumably to prepare for its next attack.
I land on the snow again, very flawlessly and very cool-like. And I continue driving.
Right, okay. So you drive for a little while, so uninterrupted. It seems that it would appear that Arctic Monkeys has halted its pursuit of you, because it goes like a couple of minutes without anything happening. You can't sort of comment on what might have occupied its attention elsewhere. But you are soon sort of in the snow. Snow brush. The blizzard from before sort of resumes as the sounds of the KGB officers from behind you die down in the noise, and you can't really see ahead of you or behind you too well.
Oh, good. It's a blizzard, which means he can attack me from any direction, doesn't it?
Mm.
But it's also begs the question of where are you going at this point?
Yeah, I think I'm completely lost. You said there's a village this way, right?
Yes, in this direction.
Yeah, I think I have to head towards the village. If I can at least get inside that somewhere, that'll limit what the stand can do, I think.
What is the range on our pagers?
I'd say a pretty good range.
Even in the blizzard?
Well, perhaps it will be up to luck whether it gets through.
All right. Are we like?
We should have to roll.
Are we down by the water right now?
Yeah, so meanwhile, you guys have reached the water, sort of, through the efforts of Driver, you are all sort of, you have gone undetected by the KGB, who have lost track of you.
Once
you've reached the shoreline.
Once we're there, I'll beep the pager so Driver knows we've arrived, but I clearly see that he is not here yet. And I go, well, shit, we can't signal for Sergeant O until Driver's here.
How are we gonna signal him anyways? That flare gun don't work.
That's a good point. And I kind of hold it out, fiddling with it in my hands.
I've got an idea.
Shoot. I hand it to him.
De-evolve the flare gun into smoke and fire.
Close, but no cigar, voice in my head.
You hear him say this, concerning.
Regent, are you okay?
Attempts to, devolve this, advanced piece of modern technology, this flare gun, into something far more medieval. A crossbow with a lit torch.
Okay, that's perfect. Just don't fire it yet, because Driver's not here. We gotta find him or wait for him or something. Shit.
Vulture, I just noticed a flaw with my plan. My otherwise perfect plan.
Which is?
This torch will only burn for so long.
Can you devolve it into something else?
I could attempt. I could just turn it back into a flare gun.
That might be the move. Can he do that?
You can undervolve it back into the original form.
That is what I meant.
Okay, perfect. So, at least we know we have a way to get this thing working. But now the problem is Driver. I mean, we don't know if he's in danger or if he's okay, but more important than that, we don't know where the hell he is. But we can't just wait here forever. I mean, we only have so much time before they're going to abandon us. They said we had to fire it after the conference.
Yes, it would be tricky if we had to swim all the way home.
Fuck!
By the way, what is you guys' looks right now?
My temporary luck is empty, but my permanent luck is a C.
So I'm going to need you all to make... Well, everyone who's here, you three guys, whatever your luck is, please roll that number of dice for me, please.
Sure. Permanent luck, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so
I got... No DC, I just need to know what the results of this
I got two live dice on
my
mine.
luck again.
Which is amazing.
What rolled?
I rolled it in general, sorry. Because I was looking at the monkey picture. But I got 2 live dice on mine, somehow, with 3d6.
Well, the important one for this is less live dice, and whoever got lowest. Okay, Vasilii got the lowest. Vasily, as you are discussing this, you suddenly and subtly feel the snow shift beneath your feet. And a second later, a pure white monkey leaps out of the snow beneath you and clings to your fucking leg. Oh, I've got a hostage! Lucky! Nick screams.
What the hell is that thing? And I point my gun at it.
And it begins... Vasily, it begins pulling you down into the snow, and you can feel like... It's a very odd sensation. Where your leg is submerged in the snow, you can lose all feeling in it. It's not as if it's numb, it's gone.
And I try something as a reaction.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, you think you can out-monkey me? But he doesn't do what you might expect. Instead, he has his stand fade into you, which, merges behind him. Somehow, its form more distinct every time. Now, it's appeared to have some armor over its shoulders, its forearms, its knees. But still a red, fleshless humanoid with a helmet covering its eyes. And its stand rushes not the snow monkey, but the snow, trying to evolve it back into a previous form it took. Gas.
I'll allow it. Okay, so you're auraing here, and in response, it's going to try and restrain to sort of like drag you down. So you roll your aura up against. Basically, it's a race to get who does their thing first at this point.
Alright, so I guess that's speed and
Power for you.
Alright.
Versus its power and durability.
Let's go, Vasilii. 2 live dice from Vasilii.
Oh, I wasn't aiming for the monkey, to be clear.
Yeah, it's just that he's trying to restrain you as you're doing your thing.
Okay, yeah.
2 live dice for the monkey. So who was the defender?
The defender is Vasilii here.
Alright, so normally that would mean Vasilii's not taking any hits, but I don't know if they tie, if he also is able to stop the snow or not. That's up to you.
So you will take no hits here, but what does happen, there'll be a change in circumstances. Let's say something weird happens. You are pulled down into the snow, Vasilii, as you turn your area into gas. It's like, you didn't quite manage to get all of it. So from Bats and Chelsea's point of view, you are just dragged down into the snow and vanish from sight.
Regent! Ah, shit!
What the fuck was that?
I press my back. I press my back against Slugger's back and hold my gun up, and I'm like, "Be careful. He could be anywhere."
You're getting a little bit too close.
Shut up. Do you see anything? It emerged. It like bulged underneath him before last time. Tell me if you see anything, and I'm trying to scan the area to see where it's coming up next.
You do not have much luck because we're going to whoosh back to Driver. Driver, for a second you think you're approaching the village or at least a landmark. You see sort of a silhouette in the snow ahead of you. But it's not a landmark. As you approach, you see that it's Vasilii, his torso coming out of the snow. It seems he's been partially released from it, but not totally. It's clearly a trap. Vasilii, you are sort of stuck in the snow right now.
How undignified.
He's making snow Vasilis.
I briefly close my eyes and I'm like, God damn it, I should not be stupid enough to do this. But I do drive closer to Vasilii. Actually, Tan.
Yeah.
I want to make recordings of myself, like 3 different recordings. And I want to have... I'm going to drive towards Vasilii alongside one of the recordings and have 2 of them stay at a distance.
Okay. So as you approach Vasilii, at first, nothing happens, apart from Vasilii. Do you have anything to say to your friend as he approaches?
Oh, are you the real... Come to think of it, I never did get your name, did I?
My code name is Driver.
Yes, Driver.
So as you are having this conversation, Vasilii actually sees it first. You see in the snow in the air, Arctic monkeys coalesces into existence right behind Driver's head as it tries to like latch onto the back of it and presumably like claw his eyes.
Oh.
You got distracted! I win! He cries in utter glee.
I love Arctic Monkey so much. Mascot character for real.
Is this the part where I can pull the gambit and be like, you actually latched onto my clone? You fool.
Okay. I will if you want to do that because that's fucking epic. You can roll for a confound with
Bamboozle.
advantage.
Okay.
Which confound, I believe.
Yeah, it's like
Well,
Psych. One of the
roll, I'll give you it.
One of the ones that stayed behind was the real me or some shit.
Yeah.
So while he's doing his overkill, which is menacing plus power.
That's 4 successes.
Nice.
Okay, and let's see against this 8d6.
He got 3.
Yes, a 3. He latches on, claws out the eyes of poor Driver. He will never see again. He goes, good trouble is over! He win! But Ernie realizes that what is clinging to his fingers is not eye tissue and bits of bone, but just like glass, like hologram that sort of fades away. Eh? The hell is this now?
Arctic Monkey hears like the click of a gun, and I'm like pointing the recording of the gun to his head, and I'm like, "You're an absolute dumbass, you know that?" And I fire it.
And as he's opening his mouth for that big what, your bullet slams into the back of his jaw, sending him flying end over end into the snow.
Can I swing by Vasilii and like try and pick him up out of the snow?
Absolutely, you can.
Like grab his arm and throw him onto the back of my bike.
Yeah. And as you're doing this, as you've landed the sort of that, you can tell that was the finishing blow of the combat there. That you have conquered Arctic Monkeys. You can, as you turn back after retrieving Vasilii, you see Arctic Monkeys like trying to open up a hole in the snow to climb back in.
Can I run over it as I drive backward?
Absolutely. It's like, these bastards, how dare they take me so lightly? I'll wait for them to fall off their guard and get them from the snow.
And
how devilish of me.
And Vasilii also joined in, but, seeing how this guy's aping his ape gimmick, he grows out the simian tail himself and tries, whacking the guy with it, or perhaps strangling him.
Absolutely.
Hold him in place while the bike runs over him.
Yes, I like that.
As you grab him, he's like, oh, it's you! Oh, I was just kidding, you realise that, right? I wasn't actually taking you hostage, I was trying to be friends, come on!
I rev the motorcycle and, slowly encroach it over the Arctic Monkey's head.
No, tickle us! And then its head pops, and the stand dissipates.
I think, after seeing how, Driver's, mimicry won them the day, Vasilii goes, seems the old saying really is true. Monkey see, monkey do.
You know what? Just because this worked perfectly, I'm gonna let you have that one.
And I imagine the camera flashes to some KGB agent's head exploding or whatever.
Absolutely. Ivan Zakharov, never encountered good trouble. Retired.
Alright, so I'll be honest, Vasilii, I'm a little lost. Do you have any idea where the others are?
We were by the sea last.
Got it, by the sea. And I turn around and I head back.
Okay, it takes a little while and a few false turns, but the two groups do eventually manage to reunite. Bats and Chelsea, presumably you've all this time been under the impression that you are in the middle of a fight with Arctic Monkeys who are only left.
I've been sticking back to back, scanning for something to emerge.
Yeah, Vasilii's fucking dead.
I've had my
while they're looking for something to
pointing
emerge.
at
While they're looking for something to emerge, fucking Proto Man drives off a cliff, hangs in the air for a little bit. Very
I love
epic.
the idea. There's the sun fight, but they think they're in the Vanilla Ice fight. They think the Vasilii just suddenly got destroyed.
Shit, they got Regent. He was one of our strongest operatives.
Like, where is he? Why didn't your nose smell anything bats?
Oi, Regent!
But yeah, you do eventually look up, see Proto-Men dangling off the cliff, and your two groups do reunite.
Once we're all together again, Vulture will breathe a sigh of relief, and she's going to take out the ball in her pocket and be like, is it time now, Slugger?
4.
For the interrogation?
I was expecting this was going to be something
I think we
that
should
you
try
would
and get back to home base before we try to interrogate anyone.
Yeah, I'm with Driver. That was something that I wanted to do, well, at least see what Neil had to say about it. I didn't expect us to do it. Plus, she could run away out here.
That's a good idea.
I don't know about you guys, but I want to get home and get a warm cup of cocoa right now.
If it's not too much of a strain on your power to keep him that long, that's a good idea, I think. I would like to get back...
One ball.
Fair enough. I'd like to personally get back to the infirmary and get my toes back, because they are missing. Because for some reason I keep getting mortally wounded.
I can relate.
Yeah, you are missing your toes.
And I think Vasilii will again, devolve the broken flare gun into a crossbow with like a lit torch on it. And
Absolutely.
Fire it into the night sky like a beacon.
It sails up with surprising range for an ancient crossbow light. Perches up in the sky. For a moment, there's worry that the KGB will see that, of course, and come over to your position. But the person actually coming to you is much faster than any puny KGB. As the cliff face that Proto-Man just sort of descended from opens up into a black panel with a tunnel beyond, in the middle of which is shouting, is your good friend, Sergeant O. Wow, you took longer than expected.
Yeah, well, that gun that you gave us didn't fucking work.
I cleaned it nightly by myself.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Just get us back to base, all right?
That might have actually been my fault. Sorry, guys.
What do you mean?
I'll explain it when we're back, alright? Let's just go.
All right.
Fair warning, this tunnel's pretty long, so I hope your legs aren't too tired.
I rev my motorcycle as he says that.
I limp onto the boat.
Are the seats enough for everyone? There's a tunnel that goes to the boat, so the distance is unchanged.
I limp through the tunnel with my fucked up foot.
With no toes.
Yeah, don't mind me, guys.
One limb per mission.
Vasilii, if you can walk, can I carry Chelsea there?
Oh, I can do better than walk. And he's gonna just try and, I don't know what it's called. It's not quite climb, but like the thing where you like cling to the ceiling to move, like a jungle gym. A monkey or like monkey bars.
And what are you hanging on to?
The darkness.
The tunnel.
Okay.
That was my reaction to that information.
Well, I don't see any problem here.
You can do that if you want, I guess. I'm not sure how that will, what advantage it offers, but okay.
I'll hop onto the back of Driver's bike, who for the second time has assisted me.
He doesn't walk either. After his battle with the werewolf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it takes you a while, but you all manage to get on the boat, where Sergeant O has actually made you some cups of cocoa in anticipation of your return.
Oh, hot shit, thanks.
Thank you very much.
I felt bad because I was saying lots of weird things before you left, so I made you cocoa.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Sergeant O, you had me a little suspicious of you, but I'm just glad that you were able to get us out and we're all okay.
I'm sorry if you felt I was suspicious. I'm no imposter.
Well, why would you say it like that? Now I'm suspicious again.
I'm sorry, it was just a goof and a gaff.
I'll just drink my hot cocoa, try to warm
And as
up.
you have this bizarre...
Sergeant O acting a little sussy.
I'm no imposter, I swear.
I'm getting an idea for a mobile game.
He suddenly vents in the middle of the boat.
I mean, if you think about it, the tunnels is basically venting.
Exactly.
So yeah, you managed to make your way through the boat, across the ocean, to the dock, through many more tunnels, and over the course of of several days, back to HQ where you have some much wanted rest waiting for you.
I think that stresses.
It takes several days to get there.
Well, yeah, so you go to America from Russia.
Oh my god, you have to spend so much time in the time chamber.
Yeah, I was about to say that stresses her out because she realizes it's a 1-to-1 time, so she's gonna have to be there for like half a week.
So yeah, you are given anesthetic for most of your stay there, but over the course of some time knocked out, you do get your toes back.
He's gonna need some recreational morphine to pass the time.
Lamar, as always, you're a miracle worker. Thanks.
Yeah, the bot is being a bastard, so hold on.
The bot wants no part of this.
Let me fucking know. Here we go. So yeah, as you emerge from a higher power, the giant teddy bear sort of pats you on the head as you are disemboweled out of its stomach with your toes intact.
I give him a friendly little pat.
I'm just imagining like bugs. I'm just imagining bugs from SMT.
As always, Lamar, you are a miracle worker. Thank you.
Thank you for staying at Hotel Lamar. Looking forward to your next visit, even though you're probably not.
Yeah, well, one more and you'll fill up your stamp card and I'll have to buy you a drink.
Don't forget to sign the guest book.
With that, I give him a finger gun and I'm gonna go and try to locate Bats, Slugger.
I'd be in my my holding cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's hard to find.
I'll go visit him, but I don't mind going last in the extracurriculars if Driver and Regent want to do some stuff first.
I don't have anything in particular, I don't think.
Okay with Jack. I think Vasilii would have warmed up to Driver. Well, Regent would have warmed up the Driver a bit after that last one. So maybe they're talking or something like that?
Yeah, sure.
Alright. You know, I'll admit, I didn't have the highest opinion of you when we first met, but after that last debacle, seems you're quite a capable fellow.
I appreciate the compliment. Nice to have someone like you watching my back, too.
Oh, yes, I have watched many backs.
What does that mean?
What did you mean by this?
You've never stood behind someone in line before.
That's not what I took from that. I assumed it was something sexual.
I like open my mouth.
In my head.
I like to open my mouth to say something, but I realize that I have literally nothing to say to that, and I just shrug and I start. I guess right now I'm probably working on like another machine or something. And I go back to fixing that engine. Where do you? I don't think I ever got where you came from, by the way.
I think there's a palpable silence before Billy says, "The East."
Fair enough.
And what of you? You look to be what's that boot-shaped region called again? Oh, Greece.
Italian American. I'm from over in Chicago, America.
Yes, the south of us.
Yeah, something like that.
I think as Driver's working on his machinery and upgrading it, Vasilei's just idly testing his stand on his arm, seeing what comes up as he goes through like different generations of his ancestors.
You ever use that thing to find the missing link?
Oh, trust me, it's a lot. It'll take a lot longer than you think. Evolution is a slow mistress.
Fair enough.
If the flare plan hadn't worked, I was going to suggest he turn into a fish and go find the boat and tell Sarge no.
I mean, that was my
At some point, Vasili's gonna have to devolve into an amoeba and go into the microverse.
He's like,
he's Osmosis Jones.
Shooting you, my friends inside your bullets.
We get attacked by lovers, and Vasili has to turn into an amoeba to fight him.
All combat should be trivial because Vasilii could just go up the guy's ass as an amoeba.
Yeah, so true, and then explode.
But that's such a long travel time, though.
Yeah, we'd have to plant him on someone's ass.
The dignity of this station. Well, if somebody else wants to go up someone's ass.
I mean, I feel like Driver would think it would be a funny bit to do.
Right, okay, well, have you guys got anything you else want to do here? Or should we keep going to the next sort of scenario here, or...?
I'm personally fine with going next.
Yeah, we can just move on.
Alright.
We go to Bats and Chelsea. Bats, you're in your cell when Chelsea appears on the other side of, I imagine, the Hannibal Lecter glass.
Yeah,
I'm bouncing a ball up against the wall, and you can see that I've been, I'm pretty into it. And I jump and lose concentration when I see you at the corner of my eye. Oh, there she is!
I flash a card to the guard watching over him and say, "Get him out. I got him on official business."
Yes, ma'am. And the guard, old Scruffy, as people call him, unlocks the door and lets out Bats.
Well, what the hell is this? Another mission?
Yeah, come with me. And then I wait until we're out of earshot of the guard. And I say, okay, you want to go play some pool?
What? Excuse me?
Pool. You play?
Like the game? Pool? Of course I fucking play, but, they don't give me any yard time.
Yeah, well, I won't tell if you don't.
I mean, okay, it's biggest headquarters, but what the hell, right?
I've been at good trouble a while. I can get away with a couple slaps on the wrist. Don't worry about it.
All right, that's fine. How are your toes doing? I know you got fucked up back there.
Fresh and working thanks to Lamar. Seriously, without him, I would have been dead a year ago.
Yeah, it seems like it. So this shit seemed to happen to you like a lot, right? I know you got your hand blown up, the toes. What's up with that?
Her face kind of darkens for a bit, and she's like, right, I promised I'd tell you about that. Well, the thing about my stand and me is, wherever I seem to go, misfortune follows. I don't want to get too much into details, but that wasn't just me being down on myself. Things always go wrong around me. Whether it's a gun jamming, or people dying, or me getting hurt, it's just how I am. So, you shouldn't get too close to me, but I think you'll be fine if we play a quick game of pool.
The flare gun, right?
Yeah, that was my fault. When it happened, I could hear a malicious giggle in my brain, and that's how I knew.
You're all types of fucked up. But, whatever. As long as that pool cue doesn't go right out my eye.
Yeah. Well, don't thank me yet, because that might actually happen.
I'll keep my distance. I kind of get what you mean, though. I mean, not to give you any sob story, but a guy like me, you don't have a lot of options growing up. You kind of look to those types of events that put you into certain circumstances and think, why me, right? You're down on your luck, and you seem to be the only guy that happens to.
Yeah, exactly. I figured you were a kindred spirit, and, you got me out of some jams back there in Russia, so wanted to talk to you a bit.
Hey, you too. I mean, I think we make a pretty good team with the, with the balls, and you got the whatever it is you do with the fucking bodies, the dead people. It freaks me out. Seriously, I've been having nightmares about it all week, but it's cool shit.
She kind of looks down at that and she's like, sorry. I heard they call you bats around here?
Yeah, because of the ball bat.
Alright, well, when we're not on the job, you can call me Chelsea.
Oh, right. Real names. Jesus. Yeah, bats. We'll go with that for now. I got a name on the birth certificate, but I'd have to double check it to make sure it's right.
As you've been talking, you reach the recreation room where the only other person here is the agent who perpetually seems to be also not on a mission at the same time as you guys. Maximilian Masterson, the massive man with the massive mustache.
Ah, this asshole.
Well, he give you trouble?
Now who about you?
No,
I recognize you.
Hey, yeah, they let me out a bit.
Oh, finally coming to the side of righteousness, I see. You're mending your ways. It's very good to see.
Yeah, something like that. Hey, Uncle Sam, tell me, you hear anything about that lady that we caught back in Russia? Had a big backpack on, any interrogation? I was the one who caught her personally, but I want to follow up. I hate not knowing.
Well, I couldn't tell you in terms of specifics. I'm not really involved, but I did hear they have been interrogating her. Perhaps Mr. Speedwagon would know more. I personally couldn't say.
Yeah, that's what I figured. All right, Chelsea, let's kick this guy's ass in pool.
Oh, a challenge and two challengers. Shall we begin then?
Is this gonna be a fucking stand battle like the Beetle thing in Part 8?
Yeah, but I should warn you, Masterson, we're one hell of a team.
Well, perhaps I should show you what I can do. And as he says this, he leans down. He's about to shoot the white ball into the triangle. I don't know enough about pools.
You mean break? You mean
here,
he's about to break?
Yeah, about to break. And as he's about to do so, you do see that something strange seems to have happened to all of the pool balls apart from the white one. Each of them seems to have a fuse coming out of them. And as he shoots them, the fuse on each one burns out, and each individual splits into lots of copies of itself in such a way that when he hits the white ball into them, each ball and each copy goes into a hole. So he gets several times the maximum number of points.
Pool's not a points game, right? He still might have lost if he knocked the 8-ball in before the others went in.
We play
okay, but that would be so
trouble.
funny if he misunderstood it.
Well, presumably he believes that it's a points-based game, so you do notice that he did lose. But it was still quite excessive.
Damn, this guy's good.
But that also does not know how to play pool.
No, he's not. I clearly saw the stripe go in after the 8-ball, and he didn't even call the pocket.
The power of my stand, firework.
Hold on, Chelsea. I got this one.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The full cue and line up all the balls. And as I'm doing this, I'm going to knock the one ball forward and turn all of the balls, including the 8-ball, into rubber balls, and they will all go into the holes. And I'll turn
to improve their friction. You turn them into rubber balls. This guy.
Exactly.
This is his first rodeo.
This is. I take it back. This is like the Beetle fight if they didn't know what Beetles were.
Yeah, Chelsea's just leaning against the wall smoking now. She gave up.
So you also managed to get all the balls into the holes, but also, unknowing to yourself, you also lost instantly. But, to think someone could outwit myself at pool. It seems I may have misjudged you.
I'm going to remove the rubber balls from the bottom of the pool table, and one by one turn them back, looking for the 8-ball. I knew it was in here somewhere.
The 8-ball
Anyways,
gives you 8 points instantly.
Look! I turned them all into balls. I mean, it's in here. We can both chalk that up. I won one, you won one. Best 2 out of 3, right? Chelsea, you're up.
You're joking, right?
You said you wanted to
perhaps
play
too
pool, right?
frightened to compete with two titans of the craft.
You've gotta be shitting me.
He's laughing. He's laughing at you.
Come on, Chels, kick his ass.
Fucking... Okay. She goes up to the pool table, and she lines up a shot, and she breaks it completely normally, how a person actually plays pool.
He shakes his head sadly.
What do you only got one of the balls in.
You can see there's like a vein popping up on her forehead.
Perhaps
She's
your
like,
injuries still hamper your style.
oh my
I'm
god.
sorry. It was not appropriate of me to challenge you in your current state.
Alright, that's fucking it. I jump on him and try to bring him to the ground.
Oh my god. It was but a friendly game of pool.
I'm gonna whistle and just kind of turn my head. I'm used to letting these kind of beatdowns slide.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of Masterson.
Okay. Body plus wit is what he's gonna roll. So that's a 76 from him.
I'm going to try and... I don't actually want to break his arm, but I'm going to try to do that thing where you like get someone like in an arm bar.
Arm lock.
Yeah. I'm trying to get him in an arm
restrain.
bar. Alright, so that's power and durability, which are things I'm very good at. Let me go ahead and do...
He's just gonna roll his. Actually, no, he's gonna roll his fucking no cell here. So durability and menacing.
I got 3 live dice.
So 8d6.
I want to have Driver on his break, like come into the rec room, go over to the vending machine, get like a Coca-Cola from it, and as he's like, only as he's like uncapping it, does he actually notice what's happening here.
Looks like
then he sips his drink and he leaves.
Looks like he can't no-sell my armbar.
You turn around to see Chelsea has got this massive man into an armbar. He's slapping the floor with his hand so much that the floor's shaking and going, Uncle! Pull!
Go on! Tell me I don't know how to play pool, you fucking idiot!
I'm going to die! He says, in no danger of death.
Tell her what she needs to know. And Bats is going to take out his signature ball and turn it into a baseball bat and move in forward.
Hey guards, thugs have infiltrated the amphitheater.
Oh, shut up!
Surrender. Say you surrender.
Matt, as you hold up your baseball bat, you see the fuse coming out the handle of the baseball bat. A fuse that's burning out quickly.
I'm going to quickly attempt to shove it down his mouth.
Oh my god. Wait.
Oh my god. Things are escalating quickly.
Before he shoves the baseball bat in his mouth, I try to blow the fuse out, so he just puts the bat in his mouth.
You do so. Oh, that's not where it goes.
Say you surrender. Say you lost at pool and you don't know how to play billiards.
Tell her!
Billiards. We're playing pool.
He's a cheeky fuck, isn't he?
Am I wrong? Am I wrong, though?
Say you don't know how to play pool, and say you lost. Say you surrender.
What on earth are you people doing? You hear a shout from the entrance.
I look up.
It's Neil Speedwagon.
Ah, fuck.
I immediately release the armbar and get into a salute.
Hey, we're recreationally wrestling, sir.
If it's okay, could Vasilii also be walking with
Absolutely.
Neil? And he takes one look at the football table and he says, "My God, they didn't even get the 8-ball in."
Neil, in my defense, sir, I was trying to just play a game of billiards, and I was stuck with 2 jackasses that don't know how billiards works.
That's a very good bit, Stigma. Thank you.
Masterson just made me a little angry, but he's fine. See? Nothing's broken. Everyone's alright. We're just roughhousing, sir.
Also, sir, thank you for that approved time outside of my cell. I really gotta thank you for that one.
He rubs his temples in what is a well-practiced maneuver. Well, I was going to get you out anyway, so it's probably best that you're here. We just finished interrogating the woman you captured.
Finally.
What'd you say?
And?
Maximilian, you're kind of not involved. Can you go? Of course. I'll go with haste. Ha ha! And he cartoonishly runs away.
I hate him so much.
According to the woman, Polpov was visiting in Moscow several months before this whole incident. by two men. Oh, that's the wrong music. That's not menacing like I.
I like this. Keep it.
It was meant to be menacing, though. So.
Go ahead, menace us.
Visited by two men. One of which seems to be the man with the filed teeth that your team described. The other is a young man wearing some kind of black crown, according to Natalia. Apparently that man is the one who supposedly told Polpov of the future and spurred his attempts to build the wound weapon. We still haven't discerned the location of the wound weapon, but it seems that before he died, Polpov had a microfilm of its location sent to an ally of his. That ally has now sold it to an information broker.
So
we're still putting together the briefing, but very soon we'll have to have you attempt to purchase the microfilm from this broker. Is that something I can count on you all on?
Of course.
Well, what kind of broker is he? We go in, we give him the money, and we get the film, right? That's how easy.
The man in question is called the Angler. He resides on a abandoned oil rig off the shore of Lee. He's something
Lee.
of a... Yes, Lee.
Where the hell's Lee?
Oh yeah, Dune doesn't know about Lee. Quick lore dump. In the 1800s, America made its own Australia. It's like it's a 51st
Chelsea's
state.
telling about this.
It's a 51st
Yeah, okay,
state off the coast of Texas.
Is this public knowledge?
Yes.
This is public knowledge.
Yeah,
It's like
the American
basically.
flag has 51 stars now.
Ah, okay. Ah,
And
right.
we still haven't made Puerto Rico a state. This is fucked.
I agree.
Yeah, of course.
I
Lee.
say that
I've
out
never
loud
been
and in character.
I agree, character.
As I said, the briefing we're still putting together. We're gathering intelligence, but very soon we'll have you go to this oil rig and attempt to purchase the microfilm from the Angler. There's likely you'll not be the only people attempting to obtain it, so we're going to be putting together all the information we can on the different parties involved.
So we're not just buying it, but we're also dissuading the other people who are trying to get it.
Ideally, you could get in and out with any sort of conflict, but I doubt they'd allow you to leave with their prize.
Right, of course. Understood.
Well, you have any other idea what kind of parties are after this microfilm?
That's what we're looking into now. One of them will surely be the KGB attempting to reclaim what's been lost. Well, whoever else, though, it remains to be seen. Bear in mind that although we're an organization that operates on American soil, we are not affiliated with the American government. It's very possible that CIA could even be attempting to obtain it and will oppose us.
Bastards.
Exactly. He shakes his fist.
But
for the time being, we're still putting that together, so feel free to relax. Yeah, we want
And
to
never
tip-top
forgive
shape.
the CIA for MK Ultra.
Sir, before you go, there's one other thing I wanted to speak with you about. While
He
everybody's
sort of clears his throat and dispels the menacing atmosphere. Why, of course. What is it?
Well, Bats here has been with us on 2 missions now, and he's been great. He's saved our asses, he's worked hard, and I think he's someone that can be trusted. I would like to appeal that you remove his restrictions and give him free access to the facility, and I assume that my teammates will back me up on that, and I look to Regent and Driver.
Regent is looking a bit tentative, shaky. He hasn't gotten a moment with Slugger yet, unlike with Vulture and Driver.
I give him the
He
most
Well, I don't
disgusted
know
glare.
about that.
Okay, Regent's opinion doesn't matter. Driver?
Oh my god.
I like. I nod as I sip my drink, and I'm like, yeah. Bouts here. Me and him are good.
I would also like to note that he personally, single-handedly, and I look at Bats and wink, apprehended the prisoner that you've been interrogating.
Jeez.
Well, these things are
it's all true.
And I've been mulling it over myself. You've been extraordinarily cooperative. Very well, but if anything happens, he wags a admonishing finger like he's a fucking school teacher. It'll be, I'll hold you all responsible.
Of course.
We got that.
Absolutely, sir.
I understand, Mr. Speedwagon, and he goes up and shakes his hand. Thank you.
No problem.
I'll make you proud, sir, I promise.
I'm not sure that.
Okay.
I think, reading the temperature in the room, Vasilii amends the statement to something like, well, I suppose it's fine as long as one of us is escorting you.
I roll my eyes at him.
Look,
What?
after the type of isolation that I've faced while in here, I'll take the company.
Oh God, I know how that feels.
All right.
Okay, and with that, Mr. Speedwagon nods to you and departs. Do we have anything else we'd like to do as a group here before we close out?
Hey, you guys want to play pool?
Of course, I'll get 8 points post haste.
Oh my god. She falls to. She like squats down and puts her hands on her head.
I think this might have just been better compared to place to fade to black.
Yeah.
This is like a fucking ending to a part 3 episode.
Yeah,
that one was a bit shorter, but that was fun, guys.
that was good. I have an idea for the title though.
What should we call it?
Monkey see, monkey do.
I'm okay with this.
Nice.
I think it fits the the Arctic monkeys fight. Plus, Vasilii was a monk for a little bit.
It's also
Absolutely.
a joke Vasilii literally made.
Exactly. Multifaceted.
Any parting thoughts before I end the recording?
Nothing I can think of.
All right. We'll see you guys.
And give us the stinger.
Give us the what?
Give us like a you got to start doing like final scene stingers that cut away from the main group.
Yeah, post-credit scene.
Yeah, post credit.
I kind
scene.
of like it. I kind of like it ending on the billiards thing, to be honest.
No, I do too. I do too. I
agree.
was thinking it'd be funny if
Jack
Tan had a post credit scene.
We did do those in the first arc a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, up to you. All right. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.